I'm an ADHD coach and I fix your life so that ADHD is no longer a problem and your life is perfect. Yeah, that's not what I'm going to tell you I do, but I will tell you what I do do. Do. Hi, my name's Annie, your favorite ADHD coach for women, and what I help my clients do is decode the world around them so that it makes a lot more sense. But even that phrase sounds ridiculous and a little bit hollow because what does that even mean? So today I'm going to show you 3 examples of what I actually do to help clients in their real life and why it works. Example 1, I had a client who could not leave the house on time to save her life, and it was ruining all sorts of things, and it was even coming up in her reviews at work. So what we did was over 3 sessions, we broke down every part of her getting ready. And one thing that we figured out was one of the biggest things didn't even happen when she was getting ready in the morning. It was happening when she was coming home from work. Oftentimes, she could not go grocery shopping after work because she was totally drained, which meant she didn't have the right kind of foods for her. She had a lot of dietary restrictions, and meal prepping the night before meant maybe just throwing some fruit or a cheese stick in her bag. That was not enough, and when she got to work, it was even less of enough. So we found her a grocery delivery service that gave her safe foods on time every week, no matter what. And we also got her an accommodation at work, which meant that she could keep her safe foods and prize foods, so she never felt like she was going without in her office, and that changed everything. It even started to improve her performance review because they saw her present and whole at work. My second example is a client who had a very high stress job. And what that meant was at the end of whatever they were doing, they were up here. They loved the input, they loved the energy, and they loved the adrenaline. But in the end, if it didn't work out or something went wrong, that frustration was internalized and it messed them up for days. So instead, we started to implement things like a burn box, meaning they had things that could burn off energy or emotions. And some of it was like weights, some things that they could destroy or tear up, or it had activities to get them out of their office and out into the world to burn off some of that. Ugh. What it ended up changing was it changed their mindset. Sometimes they were able to access the tool, sometimes they're not, and we're still working on it, but it's a solution they can actually go back to and use. And my last example is I held a workshop where nobody had really used fidgets before. I brought in a ton of them. We did some sensory diagnostics. We talk about when or where that might be appropriate for them to use it, and also where do they feel the most need for it. They all got to try out a bunch of them, and at the end they left with 3 fidgets, one they could use with themselves, one they could keep with them always like in their bag or their purse, and one that they could use in public, meaning it didn't really make a lot of noise. And they were all really excited. I loved that workshop. So I hope this helps explain sort of what I do with my clients when I work with them. And hopefully it helps you too. Like, comment, and subscribe. We do this all the time. Love yourself, love your brain. Bye.